Hi guys, Cynthia here. And today, I will be showing you the June landscape garden tour. You can see I have lots of things that are in bloom. I'm going to try to put the names of the plants on the screen because I don't know why anytime I have to do a tour, I can never remember. I'm sure that happens to everybody, right? You're showing your friend, you're like, that's a something, like you just, that's me all of the time. But I'm going to go ahead and show you guys. And my shade garden is absolutely stunning. Let me just swing you guys a little bit around, and I'm so excited. And I'll show you the tree garden, and I will also show you the gorgeous garden, veggie garden by the home. Everything's just looking wonderful. We're gonna go ahead, and it's the end of June. It's so cold today. It's so bizarre. We had like a heat wave and then a freeze. Anyway, so let me turn you guys around and show you how everything's growing. Before we hit the veggie, so you see this patch? That's because a kayak was sitting there for some time. Before I show you guys this garden here, you can see that my veggie garden is way back there. And before we go over there, I want to go ahead and show you this gorgeous bed. I just put this in. I am tickled pink with how this is looking. Alrighty, so starting in the corner here, still need to do a lot of work in this garden, but I have some serendipity alliums. They're gorgeous. They're proven winner ones. Absolutely stunning. I know you probably are going to be like, what? But yes, I am going to go ahead and move this swath in front of this gorgeous evergreen, including the swath back here, or not fully, but just right here, this little section I will move. So it's going to just do like a really nice swoop around it. And I think this summer, though, it's going to be beautiful. I'm not going to do it yet. I'm going to move all these things in the fall and, give it a chance to bloom and be gorgeous before, like, ripping it all up. Here, this is an evergreen from Monrovia. It would have been beautiful, but I continue to move it. And so it hasn't gotten the chance to be great. But it's beautiful. It's a topiary. I got it on sale. It's an absolute center. Here is a firelight hydrangea. I love the firelight. It's probably my favorite hydrangea from Proven Winners. It's an early bloomer. I love that it turns this like bright pink, almost orangey, flaming color in the fall. It's such a stunner. This is the smaller version. I'll put it on the screen exactly, but it is a firelight. As you move around here, you will see that there's a few of these giant alliums. They weren't always there, and you'll see that they're kind of fallen over. I did do a number on my veggie garden, which you guys saw. It was a hot mess because I decided to move things around, and I decided to go ahead and just move some of my bulbs, and you know, this is where I'm putting those alliums. I think they're really pretty. Um, you'll see that I have a bunch of Empress Wu, which are the really large hostas. I have right behind there, those are hosta Junes. Now, I don't know all the names of the hostas, but I'm going to try to put them on the screen. This gorgeous, oh, I did put Sluggo down. You can see there's holes on everything. But this is also just a beautiful hosta. I absolutely love this bed. I do have some hydrangeas here. That one is, I believe that is a Let's Dance Can Do. And that might be a Let's Dance Arriba. Or they could be the same because I think I bought two of each. One died, and you'll see another third one over on the other side of the house. You can see that my pop of red, look at how gorgeous these are. I have them kind of dotted around through the bed here, and they are doing what I need them to do. I have one back there that I am going to move forward. I do think it's going to get swallowed up, and that pop of red is truly needed more in the front border, and I think I'm just going to put it right in front of that little hosta there. So let me show you that hosta. Such a gorgeous, vibrant hosta. It has an kind of an upright habit, and I will show you a more mature one as we move down. Around here, you can see that I have the Jack Frost Brunnera. I'm not exactly sure what that one is called. That lighter one, that is a Monrovia Brunnera, and the Jack Frost is obviously a Proven Winters. I have a ton of hellebores of all different kinds throughout the entire bed, and the astilbe is stunning. I don't know if you remember, but when I built this bed and I added the astilbe, I really lucked out. You can see that the white astilbe I put right on either side of the sublime hydrangea. This hydrangea is a stunner. It's going to get about 5 by 4, I believe. So that's why I kind of gave it lots of room and put it in front of this window that is just not nice. Completely forgot to show you this standard hydrangea. This hydrangea is a limelight hydrangea, and I prune it extremely heavy. You will see here that it is kind of a sparse looking hydrangea, but I wanted to only have the really thick branches because limelights can get pretty heavy and kind of droop, and I don't like that look. But this is a stunner of a hydrangea. You can see I have Creeping Jenny, and it's doing exactly what I love about it. It's creeping through the garden. I did go ahead and I added that one little drumstick allium. I don't know if you can see it. There it is. I added that the other day. I am going to add a ton more alliums. You can see that the Hakanakloa is doing that brightness. And because the Hakanakloa is more of a shade plant, I put a lot of them over here because this side of the garden gets more shade due to this tall tree here that that is there. So this side gets a lot of morning sun and then a lot of afternoon sun kind of like cascades this way, which is why you'll see that I have the evergreen, the alliums, and the hydrangeas. My ferns are starting to do exactly what I wanted them to do. They're kind of bringing this like gorgeous like ground covery look that I love so much. But there still be those plumes of pink and white. And I think I had a red astilbe, but I put it by the trees, and I'm really happy that I did that. It was totally unintentional. Like I said, when I planted these, they were so small. You can look back at a video. They were extremely tiny. So the fact that I was able to do the two white on either side and just all pink astilbe, I'm just, blown away and extremely happy. You will see through here, I think I have another, yeah, heuchera right through there. I don't know if you guys can see, but she is super cute. She's getting covered by the Hakanakloa, but look at that. Just a stunner. I have a boxwood here. I believe this is a winter gem, and it's the same as that one. I am going to move this. I believe it's a jack ladder. I can't remember. I'll put the name. I'm going to move that to the veggie garden in the deep shade section. I don't really like the look of it, and I'm going to put the boxwood that you see here over there. And this gorgeous of rocks, guys, I'm so sorry. This is a working garden and it's not perfect. But this is a gorgeous oak leaf hydrangea. Just beautiful. I got it on sale. This is its third year here and it's loving its life. It's supposed to get pretty decently large, so I thought being in the corner was a good move. Right here, I have a boxwood. This is a green mountain boxwood, and I kind of put it there to hide whatever that is. I believe they were called seep holes, and lots of basements have that, especially if you live in a wet area, which I do. And it allows the water to seep through, but I think they covered it. Oh, it happened way before I moved in, obviously. Look at all these hostas. So here is the hosta that I was talking about. That is over on that bed with the white outer rim. Look at how beautiful that is. I love when hostas have more of an upright look to them. I think it is stunning, and you can see the blooms on the Succulent. Look at that. Just a stunner. All of these plants are just beautiful. Here is another one of the hydrangeas that I hold. Here is another one of the hydrangeas that I hold near and dear. This is a wee white hydrangea. It is a smooth hydrangea by Proven Winners. It takes, I believe it can take full sun, or shade. And you can see it's pretty large, and it's supposed to only get 2 by 2 or 2 by 3, and it's a little bit bigger than that. It's been here ever since I moved in. This was one of the first hydrangeas I ever bought, and it's probably my favorite for the shade because it does bloom so much. Here is another hosta. This one is really pretty. I'll show you another one. It has these purple stems, and I just think it is gorgeous. Like the stems, you can't really tell here, but oh, here's the planter that we did together. I realized that the white doesn't grow as vigorously as the pink, but it's looking wonderful. Here we have an Empress Wu, and when I tell you she's a large lady, she's a large lady. She's at least 5 feet wide and 3.5 feet tall. Absolutely a stunner. This is a hosta June. It is very interesting how a hosta June looks in the full shade, which is here, and what it's going to look like in full sun. And I'll show you that when we get closer to the front of the house. Here's a first frost, which is beautiful. This is a gourd hosta. I look at that one. That one is absolutely stunning. I don't know the name, but this is also a hosta June, which is gorgeous. Some more gorgeous hostas, and you can see that they are in bloom. Lots of people hate the blooms, but when I tell you these blooms, they bring just a bunch of beautiful hummingbirds. I could never I could never cut them back. One, I think they're really pretty. I actually do, and they make great cut flowers, to be honest. But it's more the hummingbird attraction that I really love. I am digging this guacamole. That color needs to be throughout the garden all of the time. Oh, here is that other hosta that I mentioned. I would show you. It's a lot bigger. And the stems are just purple, and I think they're so pretty. I did put slug on everything, but it was a little too late. Here's another hosta frost, first frost, I believe. And you can see some of my propagations. Before we continue to the front of the house, we're going to turn and look at the tree garden. So this is about its second year. I have a bunch of, look at that, the lungwort, a bunch of different hostas. I love this hosta. I believe this is called the Hulk. And the Brunnera, I think it's called cinnamon something. I don't know, probably not. I will put it on the screen. I did add some creeping Jenny this year, and everything is just looking absolutely stunning. Here's another Stilby. Look at that. This is a Jacob's ladder. So pretty. I have to go ahead and cut off all of the spent blooms, especially on my pulmonaria, which is the lungwort up there. Alrighty. So moving this way, now we're headed to the front. Oh, that is propagations of boxwoods, and they all took, and they're all growing, and they're all beautiful. I am going to build a hedge. I'm probably not going to plant them in. I'll probably plant them in the fall when I think that their root system is large enough. You can see that the flowers in the planter are starting to peek through this hosta Wu, Empress Wu. Now, these boxwoods are Franklin gem. They're smaller because these two here were propagations, and they took. They look really, really, really beautiful. Here is the planter, and that one is also just growing gorgeously. Look at this, guys. I absolutely love hydrangeas, and the fact that, I can get an oak leaf, a hydrangea is my favorite. The reason why, so this oak leaf gets pretty big, and I wanted it to kind of, from the street, hide this whole contraption here, and I think it will eventually. And I know I'll probably have to move the plant holder, and that's okay, because if that hydrangea gets as large as it's supposed to, I will be tickled pink. So we had a terrible frost or a terrible winter, and you can see that a lot of my Franklin gems got a lot of burnt. I cut off a lot of it, um, and I hope that they're going to recover. And I can see it's trying, and I think in the fall I will cut back some more of the dead and just hope. And I might actually cover them for the winter. I don't know. We'll see. So here's a hosta June, and you can see it's just a little bit different than the one that were in deep shade. Quite honestly, some of these hostas I don't even know what they are. Like this one and that one, I have no idea because I got them off of Facebook Marketplace. They came in these tiny little like 2x2 cans, and I bought like so many, and the lady was selling them for like $2 a piece, and that's why I have so many hostas because I just wanted a huge hosta garden. In this planter, I have this gorgeous rosy begonia, absolutely beautiful. I have this lollipop blue spruce, and behind there, I have an Empress Woo, some more beautiful hostas that are just gorgeous. And then that tiny little plant, I have three wee white hydrangeas that were new to the garden in the fall, and they kind of suffered a lot. And I'm just grateful that they're finally starting to take off. Here is another First Frost hosta. Here's a hosta June, and I can't remember which one that is. Again, any hostas that I don't know names or any plants, I'll make sure that I put them on the screen. That is also an Empress Brew back there, and I wanted to show you. Look at that. The window box looks great. I'm sure you've noticed something. I am missing a begonia in the center. I am because it died. So I bought some more of the polka dotted plant, and I am in love with the pink. Look at this. I'm a little bit upset because it's purple. It was blue last year, and this is gorgeous. This is, I believe, this hydrangea is called, it's a hydrangea tough stuff, and I put soil acidifier, a soil, so you guys know what I'm trying to say, for acid loving plants. And last year it was blue. I'll put up a picture if I have it. I'm sure I do. This year it's more purple, which is making me a little sad. But that's okay. You can see I also changed out the yellow. I had a yellow begonia back there and it died. So I added this really cute little hosta back there. And I think it's going to be great because now I will always have something that um, will come back every year, which I absolutely love. The planters are gorgeous. They are filling out and looking beautiful. I also added a polka dot plant because I bought a 6-pack of the pink. I had 2 extra and I put 1 in each of the door planters. Down below, I have these cute little mouse hostas. Super cute. Um, I love them. They are adorable. I have weeds and I have to clean those up. Over here, I have this gorgeous boxwood. This is a Green Mountain. And then I also have a bunch of Franklin gem boxwoods throughout the front. And this bed is lined with a ton of hostas and this gorgeous, look at that. This is, I love oak leaf hydrangeas. I'm obsessed. You can see that I have a cypress here, that it is a topiary, and then I have 3 more wee white hydrangeas. My absolute favorite forest shade garden. Behind them, I have these little Jacob ladders, the variegated kind, and I will be removing those. Like I said, they're not my favorite, and the hose is missing because I always like to change the heads. And yeah, so that's why it's not in the hose link. But this is the original box that had the begonias, and you can see I'm probably not going to do begonias anymore. So these begonias, they'll flush out and bloom again, but they're not blooming, you know? I'm sure it'll come back, but it's whatever. Next year I will not be doing begonias as much as I love them. Watch, next year I will be doing begonias. I just know myself. So over here I have a propagation of a guacamole. And these are Empress Wu. I wanted something that was going to get really big to kind of hide the hose link, even though the hose link is absolutely beautiful. I think I I did that on purpose. Like that was very strategic. So over here I have a hydrangea Let's Dance Can Do or hydrangea arriba. I don't really know. I had four, and like I said, one died. So don't know what that one is. I'll have to look at the bloom um, when it's in full bloom and kind of let you guys know exactly what it is. Here, this is a stunner. This is a pinky winky standard. What a beautiful queen. I mean, is it not? This is absolutely stunning. And I'm excited because even though I have oak leaf and I have these, mop head hydrangeas, the mountain hydrangea over there with, on the other side, even though I have that, when I put this in, because it gets pretty good sun, like full sun here, I was so excited because I was going to have the botanical hydrangea in the front of the garden. This was never this extended. We did this extension last year. So all of these plants are new to this space, except for the boxwoods. They were just moved. And I think that's the issue. I moved them last year. And so when winter came, they kind of suffered. They weren't like, I think if they were fully rooted in, they would not have suffered because we have bad winters all of the time. So over here is my full sun garden. This is a hedge of Bobo hydrangea. And you're probably thinking, Cynthia, that's a tiny little Bobo. It is. That is actually a propagation, and I'm very proud of myself. I propagate a lot of my hydrangeas. And because I extended this garden, I decided to put it there. That's why she's just kind of small. But this is going to be, I cannot wait to show you when this is all in bloom. It is truly a sight to be seen. Truly, truly, truly. The window boxes, very proud of it. All of the plants except for these beautiful Paradise Supertunia Vistas by Proven Winner. I grew from seed, and I'm sorry. Also, I don't know if you can, but once they grow in, you'll see that I have those salvia. They're going to grow nice and tall, and I know they don't look very tall now because the zinnias. Okay, so these zinnias were supposed to be short, guys, and they're not. And then back there, I also have some. What are those called? You can't really see them because they are not in bloom, but I'm supposed to have back there some gumfrinas. There's three of them. There's one on either side and one in the middle. The nasturtiums are truly taking over. I thought that they were not going to. They are. I don't think I'm ever going to put nasturtium in my window box, but they're really pretty. And I will, of course, post a video here soon of the window box transformation. I have some tower boxwoods on either side. I drove all the way to North Carolina to visit my sister and found those, and I traveled with them. Literally drove hours just so that I can bring those boxwoods home. Below here, I have some firelight tidbits, and they are stunning. And I know you're thinking, hey, what happened to that one? That one was actually trampled on, I think, by a deer. I don't know. I can't be too certain. But it's because it was trampled on, you can see that it's going to eventually form bloom heads here, but the side of it does have blooms. And with the broken pieces, I did propagate it, so I'll have three more of these beautiful plants to plant in my garden. I think they're so stunning. And I didn't know what to do here. One year I did alliums, and they were really pretty, but alliums reseed like crazy, and I was sick and tired of picking them off the rocks. So I decided on these. That little plant holder has to get out of the garden. I just haven't done it. It is so heavy. This gorgeous rose. This is a Rise Up Empress Rose by Proven Winters. It is beautiful. Something bit it. I believe those are, what are those little bee cutter bugs? They eat the leaves, which is fine. And this trellis is by that gardener supply store. I almost forgot. In these planters with the beautiful obelisk, which I got at a local garden center, these are the gorgeous, gorgeous. Look at this. Well, I don't know what happened here. You guys know what that is? Can you tell me? I don't know. But these are the dahlias that I started from seed. I don't know if you remember. I started a ton from seed, and only two. I'm trying to move it so that it doesn't. Actually, I probably should do that. I only two made it. So I started like six, and two made it. These are my proven winner. Um, these little evergreens here, not evergreens, succulents. I lost my train of thought. I will put on the screen of what they are, but I thought that'd be cute. I actually split those in half, and all of the broken pieces I kind of, put down here, and you can see they took root and they look really great. If you're wondering where I got these planters and pillars, a Facebook Marketplace find. Nothing is ever full price. But you can see that in the summertime, this garden is going to be incredible. And I think next year, I don't know what I'm going to do for window boxes, but so far, I think once I have the Gumfrina popping through, the salvias popping through. I think that the window box will peel more, and I will eventually show you guys everything that I did. But these tower boxwoods are incredible. They are so tall now. They were shorter than me, and now they're almost. I'm 5 foot. They're way taller than me by a foot, so I think they're like 6 foot tall now. I wanted them to just hide the utility box, and it's doing that. So um, I'm happy. But all of these bobos are absolutely stunning. They are beautiful. I just love it so much. Here we're going back to the back of the garden. This is my formal garden. We just fixed this together, and the planter's looking great. I do have to come around and cut back lots of things. I have to cut back my dahlias. I have to cut back a lot of my roses, alliums, all the things. There's lots of things to cut back, but you guys, this is a firelight hydrangea standard, and I have one on the porch. That's how much I absolutely love this hydrangea. I have so many firelight. They are so underrated, super beautiful. They smell stunning. They are a pollinator magnet because all of these little balls that you see here, they kind of open up, and it's so beautiful, and it has just a gorgeous scent to it. But you can see here that I continued the paradise. You'll see that I kind of have that particular um, supertunia throughout the garden. Here are two propagations of Bobo hydrangeas. I did make standards out of them. I saw it in Maine when I went last year to visit my mom, and I was going to buy it. I was like, yeah, I'm buying it. And then I looked at the price and I said, I absolutely cannot buy it. So then I said, I have Bobos. I cut the largest stems, and three of them took. And you can see that they're even going to bloom. Isn't that amazing? So these are Green Mountain boxwoods, and these are the proven winner boxwoods, and they look great. I will say heavy rain makes them flop, but I still think they're beautiful. I truly love these boxwoods. Don't mind the long hose. In here, you can see that I have some alliums that just never opened, and they're trying, and I'm just going to continue to leave them. I don't really know. I don't really know why that happened. Um, I don't know, but I will say that my beautiful California giant zinnias. I think I have a total of 13 in here. They're starting to take off, and you can see that the verbena venerealis, I can't even say it, are also taking off. There's one there. They are starting to just explode, and I'm looking forward to what this garden is going to look like in July, the center garden, because I think the zinnias are going to, you know, start branching out and just looking gorgeous. I really like this combination. What I'm gonna do is add more. I didn't start enough zinnia, to be honest, or California giant zinnias, and I feel bad about that. I wish I did, but I think it's gonna look good. There's still some that are not fully in bloom, you can see. So I think it's going to be fine. I think eventually they're going to branch out and the verbena are going to look great. But look at that. How do you even? I didn't have the heart to cut back these alliums because I feel like they're trying and I want to see if they amount to something. But has that ever happened to you guys? Like, has that ever happened where it just doesn't? I don't know. I thought about cutting them open, but I don't want to do that either. I kind of want them to come up naturally. I have another Green Mountain. And then here, so this is where there's going to be some transitioning happening. Um, I bought a much taller, much larger planter for my beautiful Japanese maple. This is a Bloodgood, and she's beautiful. But I bought a really large one. And the reason why a new planter for it, the reason why I did that is because I'm going to move this beautiful basket weave, which I got on Facebook Marketplace, to the front of the house in front of the Pinky Winky. I thought it'd be a really cool place for it. Inside of there, though, I have a lot of serendipity alliums that were all propagations, and I plan on putting them along the new fence in the vegetable garden. But I figured if I got a bigger planter, much taller, that when I bring the hose this way, it'll just rub up against the planter. Right now, it's wanting to rub up against the tree, and I'm not interested in that. So I am getting rid of these Alberta spruces. Don't look at that swan. It's just full of weeds. I'm gonna get rid of the Alberta spruces. They're topiaries. I don't like them. They're gone. This whole section has to be revamped because we're getting a new deck. And so I don't know if you noticed, there's not very much on the deck right now. Um, but because we're getting a new deck, a lot of the stuff I'm putting right here is going to be of the planted sort. These were in a different part of the garden and I moved them. They're in planters that are too small, but they're there for now to keep them alive. And I didn't trim them, but I will trim them in the fall. And I want to show you this. Look at that. It's looking great. I added some more supertunias here. They're starting to take off. I did add some creeping Jenny in the back because I had extra. I have creeping Jenny everywhere. And I think they look great. I want to show you that the bells of Ireland have started to do what they do, which is gorgeous, blooming, absolutely stunning. I put two bells of Ireland there, and in this planter, aside from the sweet potato vine and the Paradise Supertunia Vista, I have a climbing rose. This is the Eden Climber. She's brand new, so she's so tiny, but I am happy because I think she might put out a bloom. I don't know yet, but I do think that she's doing something. So before we go, actually, let's just go this way. I have some cat's pajama nepeta that is lining this bed. And then I also moved that very large allium here. I haven't taken them fully. I'm going to cut them down. I have to do a whole bunch of cleanup. But I did that there so I remember where they are because I don't know if I like the placement. I love the placement of these like little allium bunch here. And I think what I'm going to do is move those and put them right there so that I have just a cluster of these beautiful, spectacular alliums. In this planter, I am so proud of it. I think it's so beautiful. It's a kind of a hodgepodge, but I think it's great. I have my Bobo hydrangea standard that I made myself. I have this gorgeous allium that I believe is, I'll put it on the screen of, not allium, I'm sorry. It is a dahlia. It is a small dahlia here. It is a stunner, just gorgeous. I'll put everything on the screen and I put a ton of creeping Jenny, probably too many, but I am happy with it. Here I have a gorgeous lavender. This Gomfrina, I started from seed and you can see it's finally going to do something, a bloom. And then you can see I have another little yellow dahlia on that side there. Um, I probably won't ever start Gomfrina again. They are a slow plant to kind of get going. You can see that I also added all of these drumstick alliums that were not here that I pulled from the back garden. And I think they're really, really gorgeous. Look at that, guys. Oh my goodness. Oh, I forgot. This is a really red super tunia by Proven Winners. I think that that is really pretty. It's giving me that pop of red that I really like, and you can see all my fertilizers in the garage. But you look at that. It's so beautiful. You can see the Nephofia behind it. This rose, oh, what a stunner it normally is. If you saw my rose garden tour, um, you would have seen this one in bloom. And like I said, I really have to cut it all back. This is Desdemona. Um, and they're getting kind of eaten up. And I think it's the leaf cutter bee. I don't know. I think it is. This one here is a Nave Bevan. Also wasn't in beautiful bloom, but you can see they're all spent, and that's fine. I have a allium that's called Bubble Gum right there. This is a Silas Marner. So pretty. This one is new. This is a daisy that I just planted. It was on sale. She looks a little rough because I planted her and it was really hot, but she will be okay. I'll put the name of, I think this is like the orange something coneflower. I can't remember, but you can see that I have a ton of succulents throughout the rocks, and that look is so pretty to me. I absolutely love it so much. We're not going to look at that sedum right now because I want to show you the gorgeous, these are stunning. These lavender, they are by Proven Winner. They are the Sweet Romance lavender. They're so pretty, and the purple is so vibrant on these. Um, Absolutely beautiful. This rose, look at this rose. This is Emily Bronte, and she is showing off. Just beautiful. Love her. Just gorgeous. And this is the new rose that I just planted not too long ago. We did have a huge rain, and so her blooms are a little bit kind of flopped, but that's okay. This is a James L. Austin. And then I have these beautiful, I think they're Veronica. I'm pretty sure. Put everything on the screen. They look really good there. I like that a lot. Now let's move on to my veggie flower garden. So I planted all of these from seed. This nasturtium, this is supposed to be a trailing nasturtium, and it hasn't trailed. I keep pushing it, hoping it's going to, start falling, but it hasn't. So here's some thyme. This thyme has whatchamacallit, gone to flower, which I think is really pretty. I am going to cut it all back though, so that it, you know, kind of stops doing that. You can see I have a ton of onions throughout here. I have this pretty short stuffed sunflower, a sage, and then these two peppers. They were actually really small. I'm kind of shocked. These are the mini red bell. Um, they look a little yellow, which is kind of strange. I don't know. But here's the Bells of Ireland. So pretty. I'm going to stake her, I think, because I don't want her to grow crooked at all. Um, Back here, this is a jalapeno. And this giant tomato, guys, this is a patio choice. It was supposed to be a smaller tomato. That tomato is 4 feet, 4 whole feet. I thought it was supposed to be like 2 to 3 feet. It is not that. But you can see it has gorgeous clusters throughout the entire, I don't know if you can see, tomato, and it just continues to produce. This is beautiful. I will always forever grow this because I just think it's a stunner. It is absolutely stunning. This is a pepper that I don't know. I had a seedling pop up out of nowhere, and I just planted it there because, like, why not? So this is Long Island Brussels sprouts. All of my Brussels sprouts are Long Island Brussels sprouts. Here we have a gorgeous curly leaf parsley. It's so pretty. I have a hard time eating it because how pretty it is. So this is a zinnia. I believe this is the Queen Lime Blush. It's supposed to be honest, I don't know what it is. It's supposed to be a zinnia, and that doesn't look like a zinnia, guys. But it was in my winter sowing. I don't know. Here we have another short stuff sunflower. And back here we have, look at this, these blooms Here's another beautiful like mini eggplant. So, so pretty. I don't want to like touch the flower because I don't want it to break, but let me try to get you to see it. I can't. It's probably my favorite looking plant. Those purple blooms and the leaves, they're so fuzzy and how they grow upright. It's just beautiful. Over here I have a rosemary, and then one of the peppers that I did not start from seed because I thought it wasn't going to grow fast enough. This is a Mad Hatter that I actually bought, and it's really big, really, really big. I am going to go ahead and stake all my peppers with the pepper stakes. Just haven't done it yet. Look at that. Look at how beautiful. Just the rain, how it sits on this plant is so, so gorgeous. And again, you can see that I just tucked in a bunch of succulents and some of them are blooming and just bringing me so much joy. I am very happy with these three. Beautiful. These are Russian sage and they are great. They look amazing. So here's that rose. I actually put this plant there. You'll never believe it. I bought a Supertunia Vista Paradise that had no blooms. It was just leaves, and it was on sale. And I was like, okay, awesome. I put it in my window box, and when it started to bloom, it was this. So I had to buy another paradise. So this rose put out a lot more blooms and some of the branches, ouch, some of the branches died. So I have to cut that all back. And I think this rose is going to do very well here. It's looking like it's trying and it makes me happy. So I'm really glad about it. And this rock, these rocks, so gorgeous. I love the moss. It just grows like that. I just love it so much. But here, you'll see that the reason why I did do a lot of succulents throughout is because in rocks like this, weeds grow all the time. So I decided to throw some succulents. I got to clean that up again. But where I get all of my succulents is this little area. And I love that it's blooming. It looks really, really great. I do have to cut back this area so that it flushes out again. And you can see like sometimes we still have like grass that grows through or weeds and but it's far less than what it used to be. This whole area was weed city, like really, really bad. And last year I found at Lowe's, they had they had these trays of hardy succulents that was just like a sheet of succulent. And then I just did that there. And I was like, wow, 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 wow. Like I loved it so much that I started to propagate it and put it over here. And I think we filmed the video together. That was strange. My camera just stopped working. Anyway, we did this together and it's filling out really great. And all of the succulents are blooming and I couldn't be happier. I mean, you can see weeds, they just grow like wildflowers. But yeah. And that's it, guys. This is the house garden. So that's it, guys, for the house garden. You can see that on my picnic table. I have a lot of things that still need to get done, and I'm going to go ahead and do that now. It's just a few of my zinnias that I'm going to put in the gray planter you see right there. And yeah, I still have to pot up that whole section, and I think in July I'll show you everything. I think that's when it'll be all done. But I'm really happy that I was able to show you my home garden. I feel like I never share that because I don't know. But I'm glad I did. And look at how gorgeous this is. I feel extremely blessed and super giddy with excitement in sharing my garden with you. And I hope that you liked it. And if you did, I really hope that you do like the video and that you subscribe. And I'm so happy. There's still so many changes that are going to come about that I can't wait to share with you guys. I forgot on this side garden, I also added some foxgloves, but they're all tucked in. And so hopefully in July they will, be of some size. And I'm excited to share that with you when it starts to come to fruition. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate every single one of you that tune in all of the time and comment and like and subscribe. So thank you so much. And remember, if you didn't get it done today, there is always tomorrow.